Luxury glasses are now accessible to everyone, thanks to Gast, who are making incredible quality frames at a really incredible price. And in today's video, I'm going to be showcasing the perfect example of that, which is their new Rimless series, as well as some fabulous, amazing new acetate designs, and finally, some ultra cool sunglasses that are going to blow your mind. And then, I'm going to be giving Gast their SF score. So hi, I'm Robert, Style and Vision Consultant here at the Spectacle Factory, and it's my job to pair you with your perfect pair of glasses. And if you're looking for an awesome pair of glasses at an awesome price, look no further. Gast have got you covered. We were an early adopter of the brand after I met Matteo Gastaldo, founder of Gast, in Milan last year. And since then, their collection has been growing and growing. With Gast, you get a really stylish frame that is well made, durable, and looks effortlessly cool. And the personification of that has to be their new Rimless series. These frames, which I ordered at the Silmo exhibition in Paris recently, have absolutely blown me away. I'm currently wearing a Barton Prera Rimless frame, which costs more than 3 times the price of these. And you cannot say there is 3 times the difference. In terms of the construction, the build quality, it's pretty close. Yes, Barton Prera might have the edge, but these rimless frames are almost too good to be true. We see a drill mount that is not just your typical drill mount. They actually have quite a nice design around the drill holes, which mounts the frames to the lens. We see metal nose pads, probably not titanium, but metal nonetheless, for that really sleek aesthetic that I'm always talking about. And we see acetate covered temples. Now with rimless frames, I always recommend to have a lens tint. And the reason for that is because it gives definition to the shape of the lens. So Gast have gone ahead and done that for you. This is the Ollie in silver with grey acetate temples. This is about as fashionable as it gets. And from a stylistic perspective, you cannot fault Gast. Each model within the Rimless series comes in both silver, as you see here, gold, which in this case has a blue acetate temple, absolutely luxurious, rose gold, which in this case has a transparent or crystal acetate temple, and black. I love the gold and blue. I think it looks the most luxurious, I think it looks the most expensive, combined with a blue lens tint, which by the way doesn't necessarily have to be as dark as that. It could be a lighter tint, as you saw me wearing in my pair, just as a superb pair of glasses. These frames feel reasonably comfortable. They're not uncomfortable in any way, and the metal nose pads give a really premium feel. For those who like something a little bit different, rose gold is a really good option, and I really like how they've paired that with the crystal end tips. And arguably even better than that first rimless frame that I've just showcased for you is the full metal version. So here we just have beautiful, sculpted, sleek metalwork all the way to the end tips. I really like how it flares out behind the ears for that ultra premium look. These glide onto the face really nicely, definitely feel better than the acetate. For me, just nothing compares to the feel of pure metal touching your skin. And of course, with this one, we're going to want to customize the lens shape as well as the tint, although Gast might disagree because they've made this as a ready-to-wear sunglass, or I don't think you could really call this a sunglass, tinted glasses. And it's kind of like a teal blue, very relaxing and peaceful to look through. And you can see that they've paired that with the black metal work. And even a lovely touch, black metal nose pads. And yeah, what more is there to say about these rimless frames? Some of the best rimless releases of the year, and by far the most affordable rimless releases of the year. But Gast made their name in acetate frames, and they have some new acetate releases as well. I've picked out the best of the bunch, which is called the Bagage. Yes, you heard that correctly, Bagage. Bit of a strange choice, but the frames themselves are ultra cool as well. This shape is just the right proportion for me, I feel, and probably would be for the majority of faces. It's a frame that's not too big, not too small, and we talk a lot about proportions on this channel. I think they got the proportions just right on the Bagage. It never gets better every time I say that, but there's just some lovely details here, like the sculpting along the top of the frame, the keyhole bridge, the shape, which is at first glance quite standard, but at second glance when you see it on the face, definitely doesn't look like a standard pair of glasses. Everything comes together to make a great finished product. Now these frames are made in China, which is the reason why they are so affordable. But unlike most Chinese disposable glasses that are produced, these are genuine luxury frames. There are many regions to China, it's a huge country. Some of those regions do produce high quality glasses. And Gast are definitely not the first luxury eyewear company to turn to China to produce excellent frames. We've seen the same with Garrett Light, for example. But these frames are less expensive than Garrett Light and even better quality. In fact, you can put these up against most luxury glasses, and whilst they might not always win, they won't lose by much. In the Bagage, and I can't believe I've said that 3 times now, they also have the smoke grey crystal, which I'm a huge fan of. Gast have become known for this thick cut of acetates, which gives the frames a really bold aesthetic. So if you are someone who is confident or just wants a different style or a different option maybe that gives you that bold look, Gast have just got that style nailed. And especially in matte black, it stands out even more. I love the look with this suit. You can imagine me in a meeting, in a formal situation, it just would look the part, but you can also dress these down as well. My own pair of Gast frames is in the matte black and I find it really versatile to wear. Albeit I did have some minor issues with the finish on mine. Having said that, for the price, again, you really can't complain. You're going to expect imperfections, you're going to expect them to not look perfect after a year or two of use, but have they broken? No. Have I had any major issues? Not at all. So I would definitely highly recommend them. And last up, I've got a couple of sunglass styles to show you. We've got the Crazy Monday, which is a limited edition model. You see it here in this kind of white feathered acetate, super unique. I think this is an acetate that's been created just for Gast. And that is the reserve, usually, of the most high-end, most premium eyewear brands. Gast have gone and done it themselves and delivered it at the same price point as all of their other glasses. Again, we see that sweet violet tint, one of my absolute favorites, and I think Mattia has taken my advice on that. But another great tint is the amber color that is on this version of the Crazy Monday. Here we see a cream aesthetic, complete with, again, a feathered beige acetate at the front. It's just an incredible style that will turn heads and is super on trend in this kind of undersized square shape. So that one's a limited edition, and I think you really should get them while you can. We have them in stock. But from the main series of sunglasses, this one stood out to me above all others. This is the Jan, and I love the super thick temples on this one. We have such a glossy acetate. Again, you can just see the polishing, the attention to detail, and the finishing that's done on Gast frames. I think this one exhibits that more than any others. And they look like expensive sunglasses. They aren't, but they look it. And they feel like it to look through as well, because these have anti-reflective treatment on the back surface. Again, for this price point, I challenge you to find any sunglasses that have that, along with this level of build quality. The shape is quite unique as well, as you can see in the tortoiseshell version. At first glance, again, it might seem quite ordinary, but it really isn't. These don't look like any other sunglasses that I have come across. So to carve out their own little niche in terms of styles, Gast have done amazingly, and hats off to Mattia Gastaldo for creating a brand that really has disrupted the market. And credit to him as well for the packaging, because that is at a level that puts most luxury brands to shame, dare I say. You get this awesome presentation box, which comes in either orange or white, and then I think it's an artificial leather, but it's leather nonetheless, case with suede on the inside. I mean, you pull out a box like that, what are people going to think? They're not going to think that your glasses were inexpensive, but they were, and they are still cool nonetheless. That's what Gast do, and that is why I'm such a big fan of this brand. So with all that in mind, I think it's time to give Gast their SF score. Starting with styling, and Gast are undeniably stylish. Not quite at the top tier because they lack some of the embellishments, some of the uniqueness that makes brands like JFRA, perhaps Jacques-Marie Marge, one of a kind, and therefore they get an 8 out of 10 for style. In terms of originality, whilst the shapes and the brand ethos are certainly original, none of the materials are, and these get a 5 out of 10. For craftsmanship, they are very good for the price, but they aren't in the top tier. They're probably in that tier just below the top tier. So Gast get a 6 out of 10 when it comes to craftsmanship. Amazing craftsmanship for the price. I just want to repeat that. When it comes to comfort, this is where Gast frames just fall down a little bit. I've worn a Gast frame myself now for a year on and off, and they are frames that I can wear all day, but only just. So they're going to get a 4 out of 10 when it comes to comfort. And finally, durability. I have no doubt that these frames will survive many years. The hinges are well made, the materials are high quality. Maybe the rimless frames would be a little bit more delicate, but that's true of all rimless frames. So Gast get a 6 out of 10 for durability, which gives Gast an SF score of 5.8. And I would be very surprised if you divide that 5.8 by the price of these frames, that they wouldn't be number one. But the SF score is not really about value, because that's for you to decide. Different people have different ideas of what constitutes value in their glasses, but pound for pound, dollar for dollar, Gast, in my opinion, are number one. And on that note, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, give us a like and subscribe to the channel for more of the best eyewear content on the internet. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks guys, bye-bye.